Hello, and welcome to another episode of Drawing on Fridays, the Landon Huber Experience. So, for this episode, I'm going to try something new, which is starting with this picture that I had on episode 1. I'm going to keep working on it and kind of bring it to a little bit more of a complete picture, and I'm still going to keep with the half hour approximately, and by the end of this should be something that hopefully is good enough to start inking. And so that's going to be what happens in this episode. If you want to check the first episode, check the link in the description, or I could put a card right here, and yeah, let's get going here. Alright. Set timer for 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Counting down.
Alright. So, this is what we got here. So, let's continue. If you are interested in seeing the genesis of this piece, just go to the playlists and look up episode 1 or the description or a card in this video. Now, I was discussing possibly putting a few pumpkins in here, and I wasn't sure if I was going to do it, but I think I'm going to try to do that. So let's get a pumpkin in here. How do I want to do that? His mouth right here. Little evil eyes right here. So you guys having a good Friday? Hopefully you are. And thank you for joining me. If you haven't caught some of the first episodes up till this point, most of the episodes are starting with a blank sheet of paper and getting it, by the end you get basically a completed idea, kind of like you saw in the beginning of this video. So you put two and two together, you know, it's about an hour in these videos of drawing time before I start inking. And actually, that is still quite short for me. But I'm challenging myself to do that. Now, I wasn't gonna originally do this. I was thinking about more like maybe just doing these drawing videos, going from the blank sheet to the completed idea in the loose form. But you know, what the heck, you know? You guys need content. I need to get these things more completed. Why not put two and two together, right? Let me draw some more pumpkins here. I'm going to make these pumpkins a little bit taller. See his mouth in there. Maybe this pumpkin here, you won't actually even see his face. He'll just have a line coming out. A few more pumpkin viney things down here. A little bit of shading. Should I have pumpkins over here? What should I do? Have to decide. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of an indication of a fence back in here. Hope you guys don't mind the fan. It's a little bit hot here in Arizona. But I think you should be able to hear me just fine. For those of you who don't know, I have an Etsy store. And it's got a lot of really cool drawings, not just drawings, completed artwork. And it's at landonhuberart.etsy.com. Check the description for a link to that. You're going to want to check that out. I got a lot of cool Halloween art over there, and I'm just going to be growing my store over time. So that's kind of cool, that little fence. What should I have? Should I just have a kind of one big pumpkin right here? And mouth somewhere in this vicinity. Should I make his... How should I do his eyes? I think for his eyes will be a little bit more triangle shaped. But still have the sharp teeth over there. So, yeah, you definitely should go check out landonhuberart.etsy.com for the cool Halloween art tees and prints I have for sale over there. Because it is cool, guys. I'm wondering what I should talk about. You know, when you make this kind of YouTube content, anybody who's ever tried it, you know, it's hard not to be repetitive and to always be coming up with new things to talk about. And yet at the same time, YouTube rewards like consistency and content and all that. But I'm a kind of person, I do like to constantly try to break the mold. And if you pay attention, you know, a lot of YouTubers you have almost no choice but to fall into that rut of kind of repeating yourself or doing the same content over and over. But I guess it's just cool that people are even making content, because, you know, it's not always free and easy, so it takes effort. Okay, you can see this kind of fence I got back there. I drew some pumpkins in here. I'm gonna have the fence kind of coming out like right around there. I want to curve it so it kind of has an overall aesthetically pleasing shape. Stand back a little bit. You see the bottom plane of that post right there. Side plane. A little bit of indication of smoke or something. But I hope these pumpkins didn't overly visify this picture, but another one right there, kind of behind him. But I think it kind of completes it a little more, and when I color it, I'll definitely be adding some separation in there. But pumpkins just have a real ability to Halloweenify a piece, if that's a word. And Halloween is coming up soon, guys, so be sure to go get yourself an awesome t-shirt. This is gonna be a t-shirt in the future when it's all inked and colored. Alright, I think this whole arm, when I ink it, I might just use lines to kind of create a gray effect there. Right now I'm squinting again. I'm creating this line work, and of course this being pencils will all be inked over. Now I'm seeing in my mind's eye there should be just a really thin line indicating a moon right in that area somewhere. Hopefully I can color that really cool. You know what? And if I put moons in every single one of these pieces, I'm cool with that, because I think it makes them look cool. Just kind of adding a little more detail to some of these things over here. But yeah, you can see the where this thing started and then kind of what it is now. The idea is a little bit more complete. Now I am pretty darn sure that I'm not going to be making videos showing the inking, but I thought one more video showing kind of how the pencils get a little bit more developed before I ink might be interesting. So going from a somewhat rough to a little bit more finished pencils in the space of a half hour, which is still pretty fast. So, am I repeating myself? I apologize. You guys seen any good movies lately? Let me know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of these videos. Are you liking them so far? I appreciate any feedback I can get. And I appreciate you watching. Drawing on Fridays, the Landon Huber Experience. I also make, as of the time of making this video here, there's 9 art process videos that I've made, and those are pretty cool too. They're more like fully edited, and you really do see in the space of a half hour like a picture get totally completed. A couple of them are just a coloring process, but some of them are just showing the entire process: penciling, inking, coloring, and then at the end you see a completed piece, which then ends up on my Etsy store. And those are pretty cool, guys. There are more time to produce those videos, but I'll make some more in the future. At some point, I have been recording some footage for them, but you know, most artists will tell you there's only so many hours in the day, and but anyway, check those out. It's in the art process videos section of this YouTube channel. I also do music. I'm a musician. I released my first album several years ago, self-produced. I wrote all the songs, played all the instruments, and that was my first album, called Creature of Emotion. There's also another album called The Hole in the Wall Gang. You can find both of those on this YouTube channel. And I was also part of a group called Robots in the Zone, which is more kind of a rap rock experimental thing. But those we made actually 3 albums, and those are pretty awesome. So I put everything I have into everything I do. So you know, if you guys like what I'm doing here with the art, you might like what I'm doing over there with the music. I'm just saying, it's worth checking it out. Check out the playlist on this YouTube channel. You can hear some of the music I've produced. I'm actually planning, I don't really have a setup going right now for music production, but I do want to get back into that, and so a few years down the road I can put out another album, which I'm thinking will be the best thing I've ever done music wise. But I don't want to count my chickens before they're hatched, but that's what I'm thinking right now. Just don't have a good setup for working on music right now. So this penciling, let's see where are we at time wise. We got about 13 minutes left of the episode, and that should be enough time for me to really pencil this thing as good as it needs to be, for me to start inking it, because there is quite a bit that kind of gets figured out in the final process of the inking. And there's only so much you can kind of indicate with the penciling. Again, if you want to see the genesis of this piece, check out the description below. If you check out the links section of this YouTube channel, you can also find some links to my first comic book I ever made, which was called The Punctuation Men. Also have a passion for comics. Comics are in a weird place right now, but what makes comics cool is the ability to tell a story and with drawings. It's a unique art form in that way. They tell a narrative. That's why I call it narrative art. But I do try to tell a story even in my single pieces like this and my t-shirt designs. I try to tell a story within the art itself. So this is the story of a man who used to be a man, but then perhaps he made a deal with the devil and became a tree. That was part of the deal. He would get fame and riches and everything his heart desired for a certain amount of time, but then when the clock was up, he had to pay the devil his due, and his soul became trapped in this tree for the rest of eternity. And all he could do is howl and mourn in agony and come out only once a year on Halloween night. That was the only right he had to the world of the living. His job to bring as many souls of the children to the dark side as he could. But deep inside, though, he's not happy doing this, but he has to. He's trapped. Doesn't have a choice anymore because he made that deal. But somewhere deep inside he feels he would do anything to be free. Free at last. Okay. Alright guys, I'm going to check the camera right now because my camera only goes for so long before it starts wanting to shut off, so. Alright guys, I think my battery is dying here. Set timer for 8 minutes.
8 minutes. Starting
But
now.
we'll see how long we can go until the battery shuts off. And my camera only goes for a certain amount of time, and I forgot to charge the battery before I started this video. Since it shuts off again, we'll just have to resume when it resumes. So, where do I want it to be dark? I don't want to change it too much from my original concept, which is I did want to have a few little chandelier things in here, and light sort of touching those. And what do I have to go on to make decisions? I just have nothing but imagination. I'm looking at it, thinking, stepping back, tweaking a little bit here and there. And then that goes on until the final piece is complete. I don't want to lose, I don't want it to get too messy because I want it to be readable. Kind of like him being skinnier in there. Little tweaks and adjustments. Till it stops talking to you. So the total drawing time of this piece so far is a little bit over 50 minutes. And that's done over the course of 2 different sessions. The first one, which was episode 1 of Drawing on Fridays, the Landon Huber Experience. I'm hoping you guys will do me a favor and share these videos with your friends if you like them, because it's going to help me to keep going, to make more, because it is an extra effort for an artist to make these kind of videos to show you guys. It'd be easier for me to just work with the camera off and not have to worry about it, but you know, I want to show you guys a little bit behind the scenes what I'm doing here. It would sure help if you would just like and subscribe, maybe leave a comment, say, hey, good job, Landon, or hey, could you draw this? And I may not draw directly whatever it is you suggest, but I could definitely keep it in my back pocket, and maybe one of these days, who knows. I do commissions, so if you're interested in a commission though, check the description. I am a working artist. And then you can check out my website, it has all the information over there if you're interested in getting a commission from me. Stuff is a little bit, sometimes when I look at certain areas my eyes just say, it's a little bit too complicated in there, and I want to go and clean it up a little bit, because it's a constant adjustment of simplification and complication, based mostly on instinct at this point. But you can see, I wasn't sure whether or not at first I wanted to do these videos, because I wasn't sure how interesting it would be, because I'm starting with a drawing and just kind of working on it, but I'm hoping you guys can kind of get a little bit more an idea of what happens as the piece kind of progresses, rather than just me banging something out in a half hour and it's kind of a loose sketch by the end, you know. hopefully this will kind of give you a little bit more idea of where the picture goes. And then again, as I say, I'm going to I need to do this work anyway, so why not turn the camera on? Go on and check out some of the other episodes too while you're at it. If you like this episode, I tell stories. I try to be entertaining. Sometimes I'm just deep in focusing on the artwork, which is the most important element. And try to be entertaining. Trying to also create a piece of art here. There's things that draw the eye and focus it, and those are the kinds of things that I'm always tweaking and adjusting as I go along in the piece. Oh, there's the timer. It's been a half hour, guys. Hopefully you've got to see a little bit more. And my apologies if I repeated myself. But there you go. I would say this is about to where I could start inking. I could pencil on it a little bit more, but it's pretty much there. And the rest can be solved in the inking. So there's the piece. About as penciled as it needs to be for inking. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy. Catch you in another episode of Drawing on Fridays, the Landon Huber Experience. Bye for now.